Welcome to the Rubio Method. Venture into the unfiltered world of Chris Rubio. The Rubio Method delivers an unapologetically edgy take on the often overlooked world of men's mental health. Rubio, a master communicator, wields a potent knack for no BS enlightenment. Step into this no-nonsense arena, where men are challenged to evolve and confront the man staring back at them from the mirror.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Big Brad. You need max focus because you're getting outsmarted by Jimmy, the legend. Big Brad, focus up. Welcome to the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio, host of the Rubio Method. This is episode 70. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic show. We're going to jump all over the place. What are we going to talk about? Let's see. We're going to talk about El Trumpo choosing J.D. Vance as his VP pick. Is this good? Is this bad? We'll talk about it. We're also going to talk about how J.D. Vance is quote unquote weird. And we're going to really dive into that one. Kamala, in case you didn't get the memo, she's the best thing since sliced bread. She's the best. Just happened 3 weeks ago. All of a sudden, she's the best. We're going to talk about how great she is and how everything kind of got manipulated a little bit. We're going to talk about mainstream media. I know I talk about it a lot, but this week was a doozy for it. And this is just the stuff that people found. No matter how much you dislike the mainstream media, you got to dislike it even more. And then finally, we're going to talk about Mack Hollins. If you do not know who Mack Hollins is, you're going to love Mack Hollins after my final segment of Confidence is the Key. This guy is wild. Okay. All of that and much, much more on today's episode of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching the Rubio Method. Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Nana Mona, whether you're doing your gardening at night or whatever. Hopefully, I'm glad you are listening or watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, Spotify, iTunes tomorrow, Facebook, X, of course. And if you feel free to comment, do what you guys got to do on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook throughout the day. I'll try to get to all the comments. Jenna will get them uploaded for me. And shout out to Jenna in the back, doing all of the great work behind the scenes to make this show do what it is. All right, so everything happens for a reason. J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is El Trumpo's VP pick. In case you haven't figured out, the VP is usually someone kind of opposite of who you are. So, for instance, El Trumpo's first pick when he was back in 2016 was Mike Pence. He was an older, kind of just really boring vanilla guy. Barack Obama, we talked about this last week. He's this young kind of, rah black guy. He chooses the old white guy in Joey B, who was 1,000 years old back then, but it brought him the older, whiter voters. Very easy thing. So who is J.D. Vance? J.D. Vance, a lot of you probably already know him. He wrote the book and was in the movie Hillbilly Elegy. Hillbilly Elegy, basically born and raised in Kentucky, but born and raised in Ohio, would travel all the way to Kentucky to stay with his grandparents, or actually just his grandma. I think he called her Meemaw in his speech. I guess that's hillbilly for grandma. I don't know. I'm not a hillbilly. I do know he drinks a lot of Diet Mountain Dew, though. I do love Diet Mountain Dew. Very refreshing. Mom was a druggie growing up, had no dad. He would get the crap beat out of him, basically pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and self-made man, by far, self-made man. How well-made man? Well, he went to the Marines, did all that. He graduated college from the Ohio State in 2 years. Good God. I had trouble in doing it in 5. I didn't go to Ohio State. I went to much more prestigious school in UCLA, of course. Go Bruins. And then he went to Yale Law School. He's basically just kind of a dork, but he's one of those dorks that he's from the Rust Belt. So your Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, all those areas, that's why El Trumpo got him. And he's going to try to get him a lot more of those votes because that's what he needs. It's a very, very good pick in my mind. Why? Because he goes directly opposite of exactly what everyone thought he was going to do. Everyone thought he was going to go the DEI angle and pick, a young black man, maybe a young black woman, and a Mexican with Marco Rubio. Shout out to Marco Rubio, Byron Donaldson, all those people. He didn't. He went with this basically a big, strong, bearded, white alpha male. Marines, Yale, all this good stuff. Just boom, cookie cutter, go. But the best part about J.D. Vance for me is not all that, is that in 2015, he hated El Trumpo. It's on camera several times. Jenna, do you have video 1?
J.D. Vance, in his own words.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. As somebody who doesn't like Trump, I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Trump because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious, him being really outrageous and offensive.
On Twitter, Vance called Trump, quote, reprehensible, an idiot, and Vance loves Mitt Romney.
I'm a never Trump guy.
That's the real J.D. Vance.
See, I think that's fantastic because that's an ad that Joey B / the Kamala campaign has put out, and they're pumping it out, and I think it's great. Why do I think it's great? Because it shows that he can change. And he's also done other interviews. Jenna, get video 2 ready for me in a second, where he says, yeah, once again, I hated him. I thought he would be terrible as a president. I didn't think he'd be great at all. But you know what? I was wrong. I watched El Trumpo. And I was like, yeah, this guy's kind of an ass, but he gets things done. He really does. He's running the country like a business and not just being this high governor type person where, where he's just doing whatever he wants and our dictator. He's actually saying, no. You're going to charge me $8 billion for Air Force One? No, I know plans. You can do it for $2 billion. And what do? They do it for $2 billion. Wow, that's amazing. Or all these other countries where we're giving them money. Okay, well, you guys got to start doing some stuff for us. Okay, so Jenna, you have video 2.
The simple answer is you've got to respect the American people enough to just level with them. Look, I was wrong about Donald Trump. I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president, and it's one of the reasons why I'm working so hard to make sure he gets a second term. I think you should. When you're wrong about something, you should change your mind and be honest with people about that fact. And I actually think, again, whether this is running as his running mate or running and supporting him as United States Senator, Brett, I think it actually presents a real opportunity to talk to the American people, because a lot of people didn't think Trump was going to be a good president, and a lot of people were happy to be proven wrong. And I think it presents an opportunity for me to make the case to the American people that, look, we have 2 very different sets of results. 4 years of Joe Biden, 4 years of Donald Trump. We know the Trump record is one of success. The Biden record is one of failure. I came around to Donald Trump, and I think that a lot of Americans will do the exact same.
Fantastic. That's a commercial just waiting to happen. And if I was El Trumpo's campaign, I would play the first one. I would say, yes, he hated me. He hated El Trumpo. But now, look how much he likes me now. I think it's fantastic. Whoa, Jenna, a little hot finger right there. But it's great because it shows that people can change. It'd be no different than, say, I've made it quite publicly clear that I do not like poutine. But imagine how much Canadian commercials they could get if all of a sudden Randy and Chevy from The Ride or Jenna got me to like poutine. Like they're like, Rubio, you've just tasted wrong poutine. This is the real poutine. This is my grandma's poutine. You get to try this poutine. And imagine if I ate it and went, holy hell, I've been wrong, man. Poutine's fantastic. It's better than pizza. Oh my God. And you know how much I love pizza. Poutine is the best thing ever. Okay. And so that's what I'm trying to say, that it's a great thing to do. And I think it's fantastic. And the big selling point they're getting on him is, we're going to come to this in the Accept and Embrace segment, is that he's weird because he's pushing for people to have kids, and it's okay to have kids, and you should have benefits if you have kids. And one reporter gets on and says, he's just pushing this kid agenda because all he wants is more and more and more white kids. That's all I want. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. He wants just white kids, white kids, white kids, white kids. Jenna, can you show pick 3 of his family? For those that are listening on Spotify and iTunes, he's married to an Indian woman. Okay, like Indian, not Native American, like Indian, like from India. And it's very clear that she's Indian. And he has 2 biracial kids. So if he's a racist and he only wants white kids, does he want to get rid of literally his own kids? Does that make it kind of sound stupid? It's the same thing when I put on my rundowns with Rubio every day on TikTok and YouTube and all that. About 3 times a week, I get called a racist. And I'll like kind of zoom in on their bio or something. I go, I'm darker than you, man. Like I'm literally a person of color. I don't get it. This is okay. I guess I hate myself. Fantastic. What do you know? All right, we'll move on here. Accept and embrace. Or, excuse me. There are winners and losers in life. I jumped too quick. J.D. Vance is quote unquote weird. Okay, quote unquote weird. I'm doing air quotes for all you people listening, for his kid comment, and because he is just vanilla. So let's listen to that kid comment. Video 9, Jenna.
necessary throat clearing because I do think it's important. Look, a lot of people are unable to have kids for very complicated and important reasons. I know, good friends of mine who have struggled to find the right girl, find the right guy. There are people, of course, for biological reasons, medical reasons, that can't have children. The target of these remarks is not them. It's important to point that out. There have always been people like that who, even though they would like to have kids, unable to have them. Let's set them to the side.
Okay. And so they came out and said, what about people that can't have kids? What about people that can't have kids? He's saying, but they don't show you that clip. They don't show you that clip at all. They're just saying, he's saying everyone should have kids no matter what. And people say, well, I can't have kids. Why is he saying that I have to have kids? He's not. He's saying that a lot of people literally physically can't have kids. You got something wrong with your tubes. You got something wrong with your uterus. I don't know how everything works down there. Your dude's got bad sperm. I don't know, but some people just can't have kids. I'm not a doctor. Okay. But it's just one of those things. And he's saying, I'm not talking about that. And here's the thing with this quote unquote weird thing. Being weird slightly is a good thing. I mean, you don't want to be freakishly weird, like where all of a sudden you have a tail growing out of your eye or something like that. Obviously, no. But if you're slightly weird, it's okay. But the talking points won out on mainstream media. What do you mean, Rubio? In a two-day span, on CNN and MSNBC, they said the word weird 155 times. No one finds that coincidental. Like all of a sudden they got this talking point of, yeah, guys, we need to start saying he's weird. Okay, he's weird. They said it 155 times in 2 days. I'd be willing to bet they haven't said weird 155 times in the last 4 years. And then all of a sudden they just did it in the last 2 days. And once you realize what's happening, Jenna, get video 5 ready for me. Once you realize it's happening, it's hilarious to watch. Jenna, video 5.
His running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are.
As weird and creepy as J.D. Vance.
Super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird. They're just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
Just plain weird.
That stuff is weird. They come across weird, and then they start being weird. Yeah, they're weird.
Being a really weird.
He's such a weirdo.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate, they're weird. Deeply and profoundly weird.
They are weird.
These Republicans just being weird, it's just weird. It's really weird.
Republican weirdness goes even deeper.
He said a lot of things that are weird, a weird style that he brings, weird policies. Let's start with the weird thing, because it is a thing.
Just plain weird.
What was weird was talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
You ever seen the guy laugh?
I do. I love Diet Mountain Dew. It's fantastic. Go ahead, Jenna. We'll play a little bit.
That seems very weird to me that an adult can go through 6.5 years of being in the public eye. If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
Weird and cultish.
These are weird people on the other side.
He kind of doubled down on his weird ideas.
I think weird is probably generous.
Simply weird. These guys are just plain weird.
Vance as weird?
You know, as the campaign said, weird.
It really is just plain weird.
J.D. Vance, plain weird.
No, I mean, I don't know how else you could read it.
Weird. It is kind of weird.
We're not afraid of weird people.
The other side, they're just weird.
Why are you being so weird?
Vance has done something more extreme, more weird.
No matter what kind of weird.
Okay, Jenna, you can cut that because I think it goes for like another minute. And I actually edited that video down. Shout out to Tom Elliott on X I pulled it off his feed, where that video can go for like 8 minutes nonstop of just weird. No one finds that coincidental. No one at all finds that a little bit coincidental. And even Jenna, when we were going through the show notes before, she goes, wait, the Republicans are the weird ones? So Jenna, let's do pick 7 first. So this is Kamala with a tranny dude with a mustache, and he's got some, Jenna, is that a wig? It's got to be a wig, right? No one has that thick of hair, Jesus. I don't know. And then pick 6. This is all images of around the White House and people within the White House. You've got dogs, generals. You got the guy, the Olympian. You've got leather and lace. You've got at the top middle was the who was that one guy who was wearing the mask and a Darth Vader shield. Remember when they kneeled with the African scarves or whatever that is when George Floyd died. You got the leader of the Atomic Energy on the left with the green dress. Remember, he was the one that was always stealing luggage. You got Joey B sniffing kids up there. You got some lady, a guy with fake boobs. Yeah, Jenna just says, oh, that's Pete Buttigieg. Okay, then you've got some lady that's dressed. I think that's a vagina. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah, but the Republicans are the weird ones. Come on, dude. That's a little bit odd. And if you remember back, Joey B, they tried to make him a little bit more hip at the beginning, and they bring in social media influencers. And you tell me if you think this is quote unquote weird. Jenna, you have video 8 ready for me?
Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Okay.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Booper.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun. Spirit fingers, Mama. We need to get shots in the arms of every single American. I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
That wasn't weird? Number one, the dude had super long white nails. Jenna, how the hell would you even type like that? I mean, number one, because he was obviously doing fake typing. Number two, that wasn't weird that he was wearing a skirt the entire time. I think that was a skirt, or was it a skort? I have no idea. Jenna doesn't have any idea on how to type like that. Are nails strong enough to type like that? I like to keep my nails short, so I'm clueless on this one. And his stupid little dance moves, and that's not weird. And here's the best part. Just today, El Trumpo goes to this, it was some sort of conference, and it was all black journalists. Him and Kamala were invited. Kamala's team didn't even respond. El Trumpo goes. Obviously going to be a hostile environment for him, but he still goes because he's a nice guy, whatever. He's being interviewed, and he goes off on Kamala's race. He says, I didn't even know she was black until like a couple weeks ago because I thought she was just Indian. Same thing, from India, and on a birth certificate says Indian, all that good stuff. And so he gets the newest video, Jenna. Get that one ready for me. Someone in the press reports it back to the press secretary, and I want you to listen to the question, and then I want you to really, really, really listen to her response. And if you can't tell me that's not weird, her response, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Jenna, this is about a minute and a half.
I can ask you about something that's happening at the NABJ right now. Donald Trump is speaking to some of the reporters who were assembled there, and right out of the gates there was what can best be described as a contentious exchange where the former president said, I'm asking this through the lens of someone who represents the president, vice president, not someone who has to speak as a campaign question. He says of Kamala Harris, the vice president, she was always of Indian heritage and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago, and she happened to turn black, he said, and now she wants to be known as black. So I didn't know, is she Indian or is she black?
Wow.
She has always, this is unclear, I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she went black. Your response to those comments?
He is a candidate, so I'm going to be super careful. Wait, no, hold on. I have more to say. I certainly have more to say. As a person of color, as a black woman who is in this position that is standing before you at this podium behind this lectern, what he just said, what you just read out to me, is repulsive, it's insulting, and no one has any right to tell someone who they are, how they identify. That is no one's right. It is someone's own decisions. I'll add this. Only she can speak to her experience. Only she can speak to what it's like. She's the only person that can do that. And I think it's insulting for anybody. It doesn't matter if it's a former leader, a former president, it is insulting. And we have to put, she is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. We have to put some respect on her name, period.
What the hell is she even talking about? Number one, why did she announce what she was doing? Like, as a woman, as a black woman, as I'm standing at this lectern, as I'm standing behind this podium, what's that for? Is that for the blind people? Like, who cares about all that? Number one. Number two, why is it insulting? People ask me my race all the time. I'm never insulted by it. If you're insulted by that, you need to get some thicker skin. That makes it just sound stupid. I don't understand. Why is it revolting? I don't get that one either. And then it's her own decision on how they identify? What? So can I identify as a 7'4" Irishman right now? Like what's happening here? How can you? And she says her experience doesn't make her experience makes who she is. What? I don't understand. So if I go live in Japan, do I suddenly become Japanese because that's my experience? No. Jenna even wrote, no, it doesn't. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. But I'm the weird one? El Trumpo and JD Vance are the weird ones? You don't think that's weird? How do you not think that's weird? No, I'm just going to identify now as a Japanese Irishman, sub 60. Okay, with an afro. I can do that? I don't understand. I still don't understand why it's just revolting. Jenna, we're going to come back to Accept and Embrace, but we're going to go to our sponsors. I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Hello, we are the MD and Chef team. I'm nutritional chef Michael, joined by my beautiful wife, Dr. Isabel, medical doctor and suicide survivor.
Yes, I was dropped into the world of mental illness back in 2013, and by the grace of God, I survived suicide. But here's what I learned. We don't have a mental illness issue. That's the downstream event. We're focusing downstream. We should be focusing upstream on our brain health and all the things that we can be doing to support our brain health. Because you see, it's like mopping up the floor when the sink is overflowing instead of turning off the faucet. So come and join us on the MD and Chef Team show.
Come join us.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up to Doc and Chef. What a fantastic show. They are going live again sooner than later. I think it's tonight or tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm glad to see them back on. They are just two people that I wish I lived closer to New Zealand because I would just go give them a big Rubio hug and it would be fantastic. Accept and embrace. Kamala is now the greatest thing in the world. She's fantastic. It's all over the media. She's the best. And if you don't think so, you're racist or you're sexist. Simple. That's it. And but remember, literally 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, maybe, before the debate, she was a liability, and Joey B was sharp as a tack. So which one is it? And you're like, well, Rubio, that's not true. They never said, she was a liability. She was always a great VP. She was always a great VP. Jenna, can you get vid 10 ready for me? You're going to start to see a little bit of things here about what they were saying before she became the second coming of Christ. Jenna, vid 10 for me.
To say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president. Well, there are polls that also say I have great approval ratings.
Swing voters don't like Harris. How big a drag is Kamala Harris on the ticket?
She's a pretty big drag. I think she was arguably Biden's worst political decision.
They don't like her. There's lots of reasons they don't like her.
Kamala Harris's approval rating is now at 28%, which is an historic low for any modern vice president.
We're hearing it from mainstream media, one outlet after another, one leak after another. That Kamala Harris is the worst vice president ever, the worst politician ever.
We don't see the vice president. What people are saying to me, and I'm sure they're saying it to you, where's the vice president? Some White House officials are feeling that she came off looking unprepared for inevitable questions about when she might visit the southern border.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And
I love that one. Sorry, I didn't want to stop it, Jenna, but I had to. She's the border czar. We'll get to that too. He says, hey, you haven't been to the border. Well, I haven't been to Europe either. What the hell does it have to do with anything? Go ahead, Jenna.
I don't understand the point that you're making.
The point that Lester Holt was making was obvious to anyone else who was watching this interview, which is that the issues at the border are inextricably linked with the portfolio that she's been given.
The border is secure. We have a secure border.
Bidenomics is working. Prices have gone up. And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up.
He picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. She was ranked and is ranked as the most liberal senator in the United States Senate. So he could have gone the other way, but he went to the left.
Joe Biden is running for re-election, and I will be his ticket mate. Full stop. Full stop. That's it.
Okay, here's the thing to notice about that video. All those people are very, very left-wing people. CNN, MSNBC, Lester Holt, Michael Moore. These guys are like, here's center, here's the right, here's the left. All these people are like way, way over here. So they should be just lobbing them up to her. And now, can someone please tell me what happened 4 weeks ago where all of a sudden she went from, oh my God, she's the worst, what a liability, to, oh my God, she's the best. Kamala is the greatest thing since sliced bread. What happened? What did I miss? Did I miss the memo? Did I miss the thing that she did? I just don't understand how she is now the second coming of Christ. And if you can explain to me that, why she is better than El Trumpo, or why she's even better than, well, Joey, she's better than, because she can talk at least. She doesn't make any sense, but she can talk. If you can tell me why she is so great and better than El Trumpo without using her gender, her race, or using the word Trump in your argument, I'll listen. If you can't do those three things, you probably don't really have a very good argument, man. And that's one of those things you really need to think about. And the more and more clips come up because everyone's asking the same questions I am of what's going on here? Like, Jenna, get video 11 and 12 ready for me, please. Where this is one who's been known, like on camera, where she, even the left wing people are like, is she hammered right now? Jenna, do you have video 11?
Let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you. You do what you gotta do. And isn't that a wonderful way to live? To know you have purpose.
What the hell was that? What was that? And it's not like she's talking to a kindergarten class or some puppies. That was at the embassy in Philippines. Like, you cannot watch that and not think, okay, she's hammered. She's obviously hammered. There's no doubt about it. And what the hell is a joyful warrior? What is that? Is that some new thing? Is that a new Netflix special, Joyful Warrior? Actually, a pretty good title. I don't know. And then she's also, if she's not hammered, she's come off as clueless. I've shown you countless clips of the word salads, but let's do video 12.
Diagrams, those three circles, right? And then let's just see where they overlap. You will not be surprised because I have constructed a Venn diagram on this. Remember those three circles, how they overlap? I love Venn diagrams. So I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, the three circles. The television coverage of just yesterday, that's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened. But just limited to what we have seen. For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present. I can imagine what can be.
Is it me? Or I've said this before, but she seems like the kind of person that okay, you got to read this book on Rubio. Okay. And the cover just shows him in a yellow shirt. That's it. Just big bald head, sunglasses, and goatee. And it's a 400-page book. And she's got to give a report on it the next day, but she didn't read it. Doesn't she seem like she'd be the one who just goes up and every single thing she's talking about is, she has no idea what she's talking about, but she keeps talking, but she's saying nothing but saying more words. Like it hurts my head to try to follow her. Keep going, Jenna.
And be unburdened by what has been,
6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
They not.
What the hell was that? That was a commercial, obviously, with a famous actress. I don't know who it is. I don't watch a lot of TV. But it must have been hanging with Pelosi. 34 with a great comment. Yeah, Pelosi's been known to have a little booze on her system as well. That was a good one, 34. But this one, yeah, I've been on the streets. No, you haven't. You were raised by rich Canadian. You were born in California, moved to Canada by an Indian and a Jamaican. And you've been affluent your whole entire life. What are you talking about? You're out on the streets. And right now, you're cruising the streets? You're going down to the streets in Harlem and Philly and LA? No, you're not. You got 15 guards around you at all times. You got Secret Service. You got bulletproof limos. You got Air Force 2 or whatever it is. Are you kidding? And they not like us? All of a sudden, we're not going to use proper grammar? Who's that appealing to? And if that appeals to you, you're basically explaining to yourself that you're ignorant. Like that, I would be insulted if that was like, oh, this commercial is just for you, Rubio. Why would you treat me like this? That's humiliating. I don't get it at all. And the last part about Kamala, and then we'll move on. She's really, really into socialism. She thinks everything should be equal. Everyone should end up the same. It's impossible. It's never going to work. And if you think, oh, Rubio, it can work, it just hasn't been worked out yet. You might want to look what's going on in Venezuela right now, where they're trying to get rid of the dictator who's brought in socialism, and they're literally trying to burn the country down. I feel like I'm getting dumber every time she speaks. Airline, I would agree. That's why if you saw me, I was like this, hurting my head, because it's not even like you're talking to someone who's dumber. It's like someone who's dumber beyond dumb, like who doesn't even grasp the human language, or just they've been given X amount of words and they can just throw them around and see what happens. Okay, yeah, Aaron, you're right. I do feel like I'm getting dumber on this one. And socialism, like. If you think socialism worked, I want you to think back when in high school, college, even middle school, elementary school, how good your brain is, how good your memory is. Did you ever do any group projects? Let's say 4 or 5 people. Did every single group project you have, did you love it? The only way you loved it is if you were the lazy kid who did nothing. And then you got the group project grade because someone else picked up your slack. That's just the way it is. You can't all do the exact same amount of work, even if because everyone's not built the same way. My brain may be bigger than yours. Your brain may be bigger than mine. You may be smarter. It's just like anything. Athletically, everyone's not going to finish the same pace. It's impossible. Unless you cripple the better athletes. It's just not going to work. And you can't make it that way. Socialism, everyone gets the same amount of money. It's not fair. Okay, why? If I work harder, I should make more money. If I put out a better product, okay, Rolls-Royce charges more than a Toyota Tercel. Why? It's a better product. Very simple. It's handmade. It's smooth. It's quiet. It's fast. It's strong. All right. And if you think I'm wrong, video 16 for me, Jenna.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution. Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well, that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place. And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
We are proud of the fact.
No, that's not right. It's not right at all. Okay, AC of AC Sports Live. Good buddy of mine, I love him to death. We don't agree on everything, but I can guarantee you this. If we run a race 1,000 times in a row, he will beat me 1,000 times in a row. He's a very, very fast human being. All right. I'm a very, very slow human being. I don't care if we were born and raised in the same house. Guess what? Look at my size. Look at his size. He's got better athletic ability. He's built thinner. He can run faster. Sorry. Am I pissed off about it? No. I know I'm not, because I'm not a fast human being. And that's okay. That's okay. If I play 34 in basketball, he's like 5'11". He's, what is he, 170 pounds? I don't know, small people. If we play basketball, I'm going to beat him, because I'm just going to take him down low and I'm going to beat him every single time. Plus, I've got 50 pounds on him and probably 6 inches. All right. Sorry. That's just the way it is. That's just what happens. You can't, I don't care if you start out this, no one's going to start at the same spot, and you can't finish the same spot. Because, like I said, with the AC, we're both running a race. He's going to beat me 1,000 times in a row. Even if you said, Rubio, he can't train for a year, okay, and I train for a year, he's still going to beat me. I'm almost certain of it, unless he becomes the whale with Brendan Fraser or something like that. Moving on. Working hard is not enough. Oh, the mainstream media had a doozy this week. It is seriously the worst. If Elon Musk, I'm telling you right now, he's like the leader of the free world right now. What he's done by buying X, formerly known as Twitter, for $44 billion, single-handedly the greatest purchase in the history of man, better than the Louisiana Purchase, all that good stuff back in the day. This is unbelievable what he's done, because it's opened our eyes. If he did not buy X and everything was being subdued and hidden and darkened, there's a lot of things that we would not be seeing right now. And if you're not on X, or you're not on social media a lot of this stuff you will not see, especially Canada. Oh yeah, Jenna tells me all the time, where these shows, obviously they're entertaining and fantastic for everyone watching, but she gets educated. She goes, I didn't know this, because what do you have, like Canadian news or TV, Jenna, where they get shoved certain information and that's it. Like they're not even allowed to get other information. That's just happening north of us. Zero news of any kind cannot be on social media except for X. So X is the only one. All right. That's what Jenna just said. Newest one is adjusting everything Kamala did over El Trumpo. So anything that's Kamala and El Trumpo, go Elon. At Chastity, her name is Chastity, says go Elon. Yeah, 100%. Anything that has to do with Kamala and El Trumpo is getting reversed. All right. So now here, let me show you an example. Let's see the first one. Pick 14, Jenna. Pick 14. Harris campaign pledges she won't ban fracking after Trump accusation. Trump's allegations come as Kamala Harris is expected to moderate her positions on energy issues after she's been one of the more liberal candidates running for the party's nomination for the 2020 election. Okay, now, Jenna, what about video 15?
Question, I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah.
She says, I'm in favor of banning fracking. So she's literally going against what she just said. And here's the best part. You can't ask her anything about this. You know why? She hasn't done an interview, a live interview or any type of interview, since she became the nominee, where she was voted, on which she wasn't voted in. She was just placed, to save democracy. No interviews. No one's had contact with her. You're not allowed to speak to her. Okay. So that one, well, she is fracking, but now they're saying not. Jenna, with a question. Rubio, what's the question you've always wanted to be asked but never have been? What's a question I've always wanted to be asked but never have been? What's your bank account number so I can deposit $3 billion into it? How's that, Jennifer, thinking on my feet? If you have any questions, you can always email Rubio at therubiomethod.com. Actually, I've never had any issues with questions. People can ask me whatever they want. As you can tell, I'm pretty much a talker, so it doesn't bother me to talk about anything. Joey B put her in charge of the border. Okay, there's pictures, there's videos, there's all this. But now all mainstream media is saying that's simply not true. Wait, what? Yeah, no, it is. Jenna, can you show me video 17, please?
Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People are going to have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
Wait, what? So she is the border czar, or she isn't the border czar? Because the same people that are telling me that Joey B was sharp as a tack 3 weeks ago and Kamala was a liability, but now it's reversed. She's the second coming of Christ and he's a liability. Now they're saying she is not a border czar, but the exact same people before Joey B were saying she is the border czar. So this is what I'm saying, people. If you're just watching mainstream media, you're at a loss. You got to get off of it. You got to get off of it. And they're also saying these are the same people that told us Joe was sharp up to a week ago. Exactly, Ty, out in Florida. Thanks for watching. 100%, my man. Exact same people. So is he sharp as a tack or is he not? And he switched like that? Come on, man. And now they're saying DEI, diversity, equity, inclusiveness, or whatever, is a bad thing. But let me just show you something. Video 18, Jenna.
This is a right-wing campaign that's going to be racist, misogynistic against the vice president. They want to call her a DEI president or DEI candidate. She has more experience than Trump and J.D. Vance combined times a million, right? So these are just racist dog whistles. Whenever you hear DEI, I want you to think about the N-word. I want you to think about racial slurs. That's what they actually mean.
To me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country and starts at the top with the vice president.
So did Joey B just drop an N-bomb right there? Because that dude just said DEI. When you see your DEI, and Joey B literally read it out word for word, is the same as dropping an N-bomb. So Joey B just dropped an N-bomb on national TV? Is that the way that works? Come on, man. That's so stupid. It's beyond dumb. And everything that's going on with Kamala, the mainstream media was wiping. Like, you can't find it anymore. But the thing is, with X, people save it. They have screenshots. Jenna, let's go pics 19, 20, 21, and 22. So this is the one where it says Kamala's 2019 report card. She was the most liberal compared to all senators. Now they're saying, no, that's not true. They even took it off. This is a good one. Trump falsely accuses Harris of donating to Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out dangerous criminals. And they're saying she never did that. She literally still has the tweet up. It says, if you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for protesting on this in Minnesota. She left the tweet up. That's how dumb it is. Like, she literally left it up. Holy hell. And then pick 21. This is a great one. For those that are listening on iTunes and Spotify, this is what they were passing out to all the Congress people and also the press, saying, hey, these are the things. And these are talking points. Vice President Harris was never appointed border czar. There has never been such a position. It doesn't exist. Border czar title invented by Republicans and press repeats, was not asked to lead the administration, immigration, or border enforcement policies. Roles focused on changing conditions in other countries, not U.S. border. Border crossings by migrants, blah, 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 have decreased. They literally are giving these talking points out. And Peter Doocy, he's the only one that will ever counter the press. He goes, says, he holds it up and goes, why are you handing these out? And Corinne Jean-Pierre, who we'll talk about in a second, goes, no one's passing those out. And like literally everyone's holding them. What are you talking about? And then video to our pick 22, Jenna. This is the one where it's from Congress government, literally says Vice President was named border czar. So all the media is telling you she's not the border czar, but it's everywhere. But like I said, if you're on mainstream media, you're not seeing it. Even search engine, we'll get to that one. But Facebook wouldn't allow El Trumpo's pick. So we're talking about mainstream media, man. Facebook wouldn't allow this pick. They said it was altered. Go ahead, Jenna. Pick, what is it? Pick 23. My bad. Okay, you know the iconic photo where he just gets up, ear almost shot off, almost game over, insert token, type in name, where he's fight. Fact checker from Associated Press, USA Today, Corrective T, alter photo. And then finally, Facebook got so much slack on it. They, at the end of the day, they switched it by like 8 p.m. Pacific and said, oh, that was a mistake. That was an accident. It's weird how accidents only go one way. It's just so, I mean, what a coincidence. What do you think? It's just insane. And even search engines had issues. Go to pick 24 for me, Jen. This is crazy. And I tried this. If you wrote assassination attempt on, okay, it never brought up El Trumpo. And even if you put like assassination attempt on Donald, it would say Donald Duck. So they're literally, this is Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo, and DuckDuckGo is supposed to be one of the better ones. You could not look up the assassination attempt on him. That's insane. This is literally 1984 at this point. You have pick 25, Jenna? Okay, now this is a great one. If you typed in Kamala Harris and look at below, it says news about Kamala Harris. Okay, so let's Google Donald Trump. Next pick, Jenna, Donald Trump. News about Harris, and it's got pictures of Kamala Harris. Holy hell. And you can see the person searched President Donald Trump. And this is wild. Like they're doing this in real time where people are just, guys, we can see what you're doing. And after 1 day or 2 days, God knows how long it was going on before anyone noticed, then they switch it around and go, oh yeah, man, what a mistake. God, that's a big coincidence. I can't believe that happened. That's insane. Okay. So now we're going to go to confidence is the key. We're going to bring it around and end on a happy note. If my mom's still watching, I doubt she is, but if she is, she'll like this story. Confidence is the key. All right. Mack Hollins is a wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. I met him, Jenna met him when we were at the Super Bowl week doing all the press and all that good stuff. This dude is wild. Good looking dude too. He's about 6'4". He may be 6'5". Built really well, probably 220, 230, but thin, but solid muscle. Good-looking guy. Almost look Jamaican or something like that. And you'll see why. Jenna, let's play vid 27. This guy is on his own page, and it's awesome.
When I asked Bills players about Mack Hollins, they all said the same thing.
I love Mack. Mack's awesome. One of my favorite players. Honestly, probably one of my favorite people I've ever met.
Like, golly.
And that's because, well, Mack's a little different.
Like every team I've been on, they're gonna be like, who's the weirdest guy? They're gonna say Mack.
I say interesting.
Yeah, it's not like a bad weird.
Yeah, he's crazy. He's Tarzan.
Yeah, and just like Tarzan, Mack doesn't wear shoes.
I think shoes are a tool. Okay. And people have made them a part of their body. Like I wouldn't walk around with a hammer just because I might need a hammer sometimes.
Now he does wear cleats because he has to, but he calls them foot prisons.
Like look at that little tiny toe box. How you gonna fit your toes in there?
But this barefoot thing is catching on.
Joe was out here shoeless yesterday for a walkthrough. Started walking around barefoot yesterday. And you look around, there's 10 other guys barefoot.
Nobody is walking around barefoot in life yet. I think I'm the only one doing that one.
Now, this no shoes thing is just the beginning of Mack's unique personality.
Oh, it's my man, Josh!
Like his thoughts on cats.
Small cats will steal your soul, never have them around. If it's a house cat, that'll steal your soul.
Or the fact that he doesn't use utensils.
Like what happened that people said you gotta start using utensils? Your hands will help you digest because your body knows that it's coming. Your hands will get the temperature of the food so you can better understand what it's gonna be before it goes in your mouth so you don't burn your tongue or your lips. And you're more cognizant of washing your hands. People are like, it's dirty. No, it's not, because I know I'm about to eat with my hands, so I gotta wash them. A lot of y'all don't wash your hands out the bathroom, let alone before you eat.
Yeah, Mack says that nothing he does is just for the fun of it. Everything has a purpose. But look, at the end of the day, it's just Mack being Mack, the most interesting player in Buffalo. Reporting with the Bills, Dan Fates.
Okay, so let's recap for Mack Hollins. Never wear shoes. And this is true. When we saw him, Jenna can vouch for me on this one, he's walking through the auditorium or whatever the hell, the convention center, no shoes. And I mean, it wasn't, we're talking carpet, cement, whatever it's called. Okay. Casino. Yeah. No shoes, just rolling around. No shoes. Vegas is not the cleanest place, man. Okay. And I know you're supposed to be grounded. Jenna wrote that, and you become one with earth when you're mowing the lawn or something. But so I get out on the football field, but the streets, and we saw him like in casinos and stuff like that. Dude was wearing no shoes. So his feet have got to be tough as hell, number one. Does not use utensils. Okay, I got a couple questions on this one. Like, what's he doing with soup? Is he just taking the whole bowl like this he's got to do that. I mean, I guess that one's okay. But like cereal, does he eat cereal? Or is he doing this? Like, because I don't know. And then like spaghetti, is he doing the twirl with his hands, or is he just grabbing like a chunk and just throw it in his hole? What about lasagna? Is he doing like karate chops to cut it? Things like that. What about steak? Is he just going full caveman and just grabbing a tomahawk steak and just gnawing on it like a drumstick? I got questions here. What about casseroles? Are casseroles off the bar? I don't like casseroles anyway. Oh, he couldn't do poutine? I mean, because poutine comes out hot from what I remember. Is he just scooping up the poutine? The whole thing where my body knows if it's hot or cold. Hey, man, use your eyes. You see steam? It's hot. You don't see steam? It's cold. Okay, or just do one of these movements. You got your hand going over it. You can see if it's hot or cold. I don't get it. So I got that one I have issues with. Think small cats steal your soul? I mean, I could see if they were redhead cats, because I get that. You know how I feel about redheads. But small cats steal your soul? How? Do they just look at you? Is it something that their purring does? I don't know about that one either. No vegetables for the last 3 years. I'm okay with that one. I mean, does salad count as a vegetable? Because I do like salads, but I eat them because you got to be healthy. So the no vegetables for the last 3 years and he looks like that? Jesus. Okay. And obviously no haircuts. More power to you. He's got a good head of hair. I do remember that, because when he was interviewing us, or when we were interviewing him, he was super, super nice. And I think I even made fun of his hair. And he was just having a good time about it. He was a great guy. So on that note, Jenna, we'll just go straight to the bottom line, because I want to keep talking about Mack. The bottom line, for all the people that don't know, this is your first time watching the Rubio method, which is tragic, because, Jenna's giving me an email question. Rubio, what do you think of DroneGate? What the hell is DroneGate? For the assassination attempt? Rubio, what do I think of DroneGate? I think that's what it is. DroneGate. Jenna says no. Is it a Canadian thing? What the hell is DroneGate? Jenna, we'll have to come back to that one, because I don't even know what DroneGate. Canadian soccer team in Paris? What are you saying? Real words here? Oh, they used a drone? Canadians to cheat. Oh, damn Canadians. Okay, I always liked Canadians, but now you're cheaters? Who are they playing? And don't think people know you can see drones and you can hear them? Unless that thing's like 5 miles up and you can still probably see it. Who do they think they're fooling? That's really dumb. So what do I think about it? I think it's stupid. And I think they're dumb for cheating. But you got me pissed off now, Jen. I was in a good mood because of Mack, but now you got me pissed off because now I'm talking about soccer. Coach got expelled and lost 7 points. Well, he deserves to. He's an idiot. All right, back to the bottom line. The bottom line for all those, a girl coach too. Ooh, cheater, pumpkin eater. The bottom line is all the things you should have learned without even realizing you learned them. Number one, no matter what, some people love you and some people will hate you. That's just the way it's going to be in life. You cannot please everyone. El Trumpo could have picked Ben Carson, a scientist black guy, and people would have hated them for that. They would have said he's racist for doing it. Anyone he picks, he's going to hate. Same thing in your life. Not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone's going to hate you. That's fine. I always say this when I give speeches. I give corporate speeches sometimes and say there's a room of 300 people. I know that 200, let's say 75 will absolutely love the speech I give, and probably 25 will hate it. And you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to they're not my audience at this point anymore. They won't absorb what I'm giving to them, so too bad. Number two, be able to formulate a good argument for who and what you like in life. Be able to formulate a good argument for who and what you like in life. If you can't formulate a good argument for what you want, or what you like, and who you like, then you really don't like that. You don't like them. You don't like it. You have to be able to firmly express, I like this because, I like him because, I like her because, I like this place because. And if it's just because of this reason, it's not a good reason, then you really don't. And you're kind of just gaslighting yourself. And third, just be who you are as long as it doesn't impact others and you aren't pushing it on others. This is the Mack Hollins example. This dude is on his own page. He's on his own damn book. But he never puts anyone down and he never pushes it. He's not telling me. When I saw him, he didn't say, dude, take off your hoofs. Let your feet fly. He never said that. He never said, hey, Rubio, grow out your hair like mine. He never said, eat your spaghetti with your fingers like I do. He's on his own page. And he doesn't care what you are. He's on his own page, but he's not pushing it. That's a great one. This was a great episode for 53 minutes and 51 seconds. Jenna, you did outstanding. Want to thank everyone that was chiming in on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. We'll have this up on Spotify and iTunes within 24 hours. There will be no show next week. No show next week. I'll be out with family on vacation, having a good time, hopefully creating a lot of memories, a lot of events. So I'll have a lot of stories when I get back. I'll try to write them down for you because we're going with family and friends. So it should be, let's use the word interesting. On that note, Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching The Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.